Hello everyone. If any of the MBA aspirants have clicked on this video, then I wish that you convert your dream B school. And as soon as your session starts, you will not even get to know where time passed. And just after 1.5 months, there will be recruiters visiting your campus to select you for summer internship program. So my name is Neelam and I am a second year student at IIM Udaipur. On this channel, you can find videos related to daily life in a B school, insights and learning from my MBA journey, and few tips and tricks to ace your CAT and management entrance exam as well as MBA interviews. In this video, I'm going to share my learnings from my summer internship selection process. There were a lot of shortlists that I received and I gave a number of interviews also where I got rejected. So I'm not going to name the companies, but the learnings I gained from those rejections. As IIM Udaipur claims 100% summer placements and final placement, but given that students also give their 100%. So even though you might face few rejections, but there is one company that is going to hire you for the summer internships. So the journey starts here. This was the first interview that I was appearing for, and it was a telephonic interview. It was a finance kind of role, and they asked me a couple of questions which were related to basics of finance. I answered all of them, but ultimately I got rejected. The reason for this rejection, according to me, that I calculated was that because it was a telephonic interview, so the whole impact is going to be on what I said. So the answers that I gave were quite generic, but they were expecting a kind of technical answer with a broader understanding of the terms about which they were asking. Trust me, even if you are not from the finance background, but the questions that were asked were purely from the subjects that were being taught in the first term. Whatever you are taught in the first term, pay utmost attention on the subjects, because the companies also know that it's just been few months that you have started your journey, and they will try to ask questions from those subjects and those concepts only. So coming to my second interview, it was for a strategy and consulting kind of role, and most of these companies take interviews which are case based and kind of guesstimates. I practiced a lot for guesstimates and case interviews and was successful enough to solve the guesstimate also. But the feedback that the interviewer gave, that I took a assumption which was wrong. This would have been overcome if I would have given a couple of more guesstimate and case based interviews. So you can sit with your friends and ask them to act as an interviewer and practice accordingly. So coming to my third interview, it had the first round as just a minute. Mostly the topics that are given are not that difficult that you could not speak. We had to speak for only 60 seconds and 30 seconds of time was given to think upon. I spoke about the topic that I was given, but there were few filler voices like and it creates a bad impression on the interviewer. When you are just given 60 minutes to express your thoughts, then you have to be very clear and concise about what you are going to say, and those 60 minutes should be structured. Like you have to give introduction and then the details and whatever about the topic is, and then you have to give a conclusion also. So coming to my fifth interview, the interview went very well, and it was also for a finance kind of role. But in the end, I think the interview was pretty impressed by my interview. He asked me a question that because you are from an engineering background and you have done your work ex in so and so field, so why do you think that you are appropriate for this finance kind of role? I answered that question, but I think there was some gap and I could not justify him properly, and the reason why I got rejected. So the learning from this interview is that you need to be very thorough with your HR questions. You might have prepared it for your CAT interviews. Again, you will be asked the HR questions in your summer internships and final placements as well. There were a few companies that made us make PPTs in groups and present it. Unfortunately, one of my team member got selected and I got rejected. The reason behind it can be that I lacked good presentation and storytelling skills, because we all made the presentation together and the selection was based on how you present the entire presentation. Many companies take GDs as a selection process, and I got a few rejections because of GDs also. So for that, I suggest that you should prepare for GDs with different time limits. Suppose you should have a GD of 3 minutes, 5 minutes, maybe case based GDs also, where you are given a case, you have to analyze, and then everybody will pitch in their solution for the case. So if you are interested in similar kind of content, please subscribe to my channel by pressing the red button, because I upload regular videos related to my MBA journey and the learnings from my mistakes, so that at least you don't commit them. So I summer interned with Authbridge, which is a background verification company. I was given the role of a product management intern, and my responsibilities were that I had to identify the market potential for their product, if there are any gaps from the existing products in the market. I have to list them and suggest the necessary changes. At the end, I was also awarded as the best product management intern. So this was my summer internship experience. I would suggest that when you are in your first year of MBA and applying for summer internship, do not restrict yourself to a particular domain or role. Try to apply in all the companies that are visiting the campus, because if you are not perfect for that role, you will not be selected. But you should try your hands on a different domain where you haven't worked earlier. Maybe you find it interesting and want to opt it for future as well. Another thing that I wanted to suggest is focus more on the role that the company is offering rather than the stipend, because money will last, but the experience and the learnings that you will gain will last forever. These learnings you will incorporate in your CV and talk a lot about it in your final placements also, and maybe after that whenever you switch job roles, but you are not going to talk about the stipend that you receive. So these were few of the mistakes that I committed in my summer internship selection process. I hope you have taken a note of these mistakes that I committed and you will work upon it.